Right up there with a 3-run lead into the second.
I gotta believe her teacher would give her an A for spelling anyway.
Teacher's probably out here tonight as well.
Probably so.
David Freese leading off in the second inning against Cliff Lee, who's now staked to a 3-run lead. Freese was 0-3 last night and lines one to right field. It's going to be a hit and go all the way to the wall. Freese on his way to second base with a stand-up double to start the second inning.
An injury-plagued season for David Freese, but when he's been in the lineup for the Cardinals, he's provided some sock in the middle of the lineup, this time going the opposite way against Cliff Lee. Slicing double down into that right field corner. Hopefully the Cardinals, as far as Tony La Russa is concerned, do a little better job of taking advantage of that leadoff runner in scoring position here in the second than they did back in the first.
And the man to do it would be Yadier Molina, who at 305 was the Cardinals' leading hitter this season. See if the Cardinals fare better here in the second than they did in the first one. For Call led off with a triple and 3 times, but that was against Cole Hamels, and now facing Worley. But before that, Carlos Ruiz going out to the mound. Antonio Bastardo, who is the lone left-hander in the Phillies bullpen on this roster, is working out there. Well, no 3-run lead to start this game has been safe. And there's a shot, center field, base hit for Freese. Craig will score, and Berkman will go to second. It's a 3-1 game, and now the tying runs are aboard with Molina coming to the plate. So Molina came that close to getting an extra base hit. 1 out, runners at first and third, and David Freese the batter. And there's a shot, base hit down the left field line into the corner. Berkman will score the tying run, and they're going to wave in Holiday, and he will play at the plate, slides in safely, and the Cardinals lead 3-2. David Freese with a 2-run double. Rich Doobie going. Like this year, had a fractured hand that he suffered in batting practice and missed 51 games. Roy Oswalt with the 1-0 pitch in the air to center field. Victorino going back. Way back is Victorino. It's gone. To 5-2.
Well, that 4th inning 2-run double came on a changeup in the middle of the plate. So this time around, Oswalt challenging with a fastball. 91.
Fouled at the plate.
And the reason that is, somebody might say, well, wait a minute, they got 4 great starters, but you can get by with 2 if you're facing them. 2 great starters in a best-of-5. Other teams can throw at there, but in a 7th series, you got to stretch those guys out. You need that 4th guy.
And a base hit to left field for David Freese. Ibanez coming over, the big turn at first. A 2-out single by Freese, and that's the 5th hit of the game against Halliday.
Well, really, Freese has faced a steady diet of breaking balls. Finally, one a little up in the strike zone. Not an awful breaking pitch, but good swing by Freese. Gets that ball to down the line. He had an idea of going for 2, but nice hustle by Ibanez.
I think what they're going to talk about right here is obviously the pitchers on deck. You have an opportunity in the National League to still not have to face this guy in the 8th hole if you think he can hit a double down the line. But the perfect world is
to Philadelphia. The Cardinals do not run. They do not steal bases. They really go from base to base offensively and wait for a big extra base hit.
In the air to right center field. That's a long run. That ball's well hit. It's got a chance, and it is gone. David Freese puts one into the jet stream, and a 3-run home run. The Cardinals are back on top.
Greinke goes with the curveball instead of the slider, and he throws one of them slow curveballs, and he's able to stay back and use that power to the opposite field. And as you said, a jet stream there in the bullpen.
And John, like you said before, very surprisingly, the 4th home run given up to a right-hander in this postseason by Greinke.
Now Ryan Theriot takes a strike. That ball left the bat. It looked like a routine out. And that one is slapped back up the middle. Freese with a base hit. Another run will score. 10-2 Cardinals. 5 consecutive hits in the 7th inning.
Be a big play. Did not end up being that way, of course, with this vaunted offense for the Cardinals. Led the National League in batting average, on base percentage, scored the most runs.
Now both of these teams will fly out after the game tonight. They'll have a workout tomorrow. And then back at it Wednesday. Freese into right. Back is Corey Hart. That ball is well hit. Got a chance, and it goes. David Freese continues with the power bat. A 3-run homer last night. A solo shot here in the 9th inning tonight.
And this was not a bad pitch. This pitch was down. Freese right now probably has as much power to right field as any right-handed hitter in the National League. Not a bad pitch. The ball is down. Kind of golfs it over that right field fence.
David Freese, who has been a hot hitter as well in this Cardinal batting order. The 7th batter of the inning. Freese into right center. Pretty well hit. Back is Corey Hart at the track, and he cannot get it. Off the wall. Holiday scores the run. It's an RBI double, and the Cardinals with a 4-0 lead in the 1st inning.
Well, this ballpark plays a little bigger than Miller Park, and David Freese has already shown in this postseason tremendous power to right field. Hart, Kotze, Braun, not a lot of speed in the outfield, and this ends up off his glove for a double.
Well, I thought this ball needed to be caught. He was coasting as if he was going to catch it, and maybe he misjudged the carry on the ball because it ticked his glove. When I was watching it live, I was pretty much thought he had it.
Look at the advanced scouting for Yovani Gallardo, and the differential between pitches. Does not throw the changeup very often anymore. It's mostly fastball, nearly 60% for Yovani Gallardo. And that one's inside. Freese turns it around. Well hit over the head of Braun. That bounces up and off the sign. And that is going to be a ground rule double. A doubles machine, David Freese. 2 of them here tonight.
He's on it. See that cutter just enough on the plate and go off the plate to get it off the barrel of the bat. This is a pitch that looks like it's going to come into the hitter, and then of course just about an inch or two works its way away from the right-handed hitter.
Isn't that the way you judge the elite pitchers of the game? When they have their good stuff, they're going to have a great game. It's when they don't have their stuff in games like this that they're courageous, they stay out there, they get outs.
2 gone. Gallardo facing David Freese, who rips one to right. Another base hit for David Freese. A star in the making. David Freese, his third hit of the night. And we check in with Craig Sager with more on the St. Louis native.
Well, you know, at the top of that, Tony La Russa was praising David Freese, predicting the great career ahead of him. Well, it all began right here, suburban St. Louis and Wildwood. We went over to his mom's house. Look what we found. His first Little League cap, his Ozzie Smith glove, his Bob Gibson jersey, his Mark McGuire bat.
Axford, 13 and a third innings pitched and only 1 run allowed. And in those 13 innings, 15 strikeouts. I don't think John Axford is laying down on the job. That's part of his routine. He's in deep thought.
That is called the sleeper stretch, believe it or not.
Is that right?
Yeah.
A shoulder maneuver?
Yep, sure is.
Thank you, John.
No problem.
And there's Freese again, a base hit. Gomez able to cut it off. He will hold Freese to a single. But the hit machine keeps on happening here with David Freese. 2 more hits tonight. That gives him 8 in the 4 games of this LCS.
Well, you look at this pitch, was intended to be a little.
Milwaukee's been able to win both of his starts. Greinke was the winning pitcher in his start against St. Louis. As Freese drives one to right.
And the tag, the right foot, does it get to the base before he's tagged? Pretty bang bang.
Wow, and you wonder if the bat is not there, does he get there a little cleaner to the plate? Close as it gets. Mike Winters with the out call on Albert Pujols. Could have gone either way. Now 2 gone, and here is David Freese. First and third for the Cardinals. And Freese launches one to left. Back is Ryan Braun at the wall, and there it goes. A 3-run home run for David Freese. Yeah! 4-0 Cardinals, and their hottest hitter comes through once again. Worst case scenario for Milwaukee.
Well, this is just a hanger right over the middle of the plate. And as great as the play he made right there, that pitch right there is got to be a crushing blow to not only the Brewers, their fans.
Molina swinging away at the first pitch. What a missed 2 months. Didn't return until late June. That one's hit well right field. That is way back there. Hart going back. He looks up, and it is down in the corner. An extra base hit for Freese. Holiday will stop at third. Another extra base hit. David Freese doubles down the right field corner, and the Cardinals have him at second and third with 1 out.
We are seeing a clinic on how to hit, foul off your pitches that the pitchers make and get one you like and go where the pitch is at. And that's exactly what these Cardinal hitters have done. And every time the ball goes in the air, you got to hold your breath thinking it might be gone. And that one was a few feet from another home run.
So much power, pole to pole power as they call it. And with a base open at first, Yadier Molina
open, and it didn't really come to fruition when we're talking about redemption. This is going to be redemption time for a lot of pitchers. Well, I think Lowe fits into that category. 1 1/3 innings, 9 hits. He'd like to do a little better than that and certainly try to get his team through an inning or 2. Keep that 9 runs.
There's another base hit. David Freese just keeps racking them up. And it's bobbled by Hart, and Holiday on his way to third base. Another error. Brewers committed 4 errors in Game 5, and an error here allows Holiday to third base. Back-to-back hits. Cardinals threatening again.
Well, first, taking advantage of this hole. They've played weeks up the middle the entire series. The Cardinal hitters have been going that way with it, and this is just kind of a play where Hart looks up to see if Holiday's running, loses where the baseball is. Kind of the nonchalant play.
And then tonight, the Rangers flashed some leather. And this one saved a run and ended the inning as Freese has now hit in 12 straight postseason games. A Cardinal record, and he is on with one out here in the 7th.
If there were nobody out, I think Tony La Russa in a scoreless game would pinch run for David Freese. But now Tony doesn't know whether he's going to be the hitter in the bottom of the 9th inning, so he's going to leave the bat in there and see what Yadier Molina does.
I thought you were going to go a different way and say you wonder how itchy Ron Washington is to pop out of that dugout and go to his bullpen. Sliding play by Pujols. And then tonight, the Rangers flashed some leather. And this one saved a run and ended the inning as Freese has now hit in 12 straight postseason games. A Cardinal record, and he is on with one out here in the 7th.
If there were nobody out, I think Tony La Russa in a scoreless game would pinch run for David Freese. But now Tony doesn't know whether he's going to be the hitter in the bottom of the 9th inning, so he's going to leave the bat in there and see what Yadier Molina does.
I thought you were going to go a different way and say you wonder how itchy Ron Washington is to pop out of that dugout and go to his bullpen.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Craig, the only runs. Now 2 on, 1 out, and Freese a 2-2 count.
Now's the time to come back inside. He's gone away 4 straight times. 2 fastballs, 2 changeups.
Opposite way and fair. Down the right field line, Holiday will score. Berkman will dig to third, and they hold him late on an RBI double by David Freese. He's hit him 13 straight, and that call at first looms large now. It's 2-0.
And also staying in the one spot on the plate. Harrison going away and away, misses. 2-0 pitch, fouled off. Fouled off. It goes away again. Base hit down the right field line. 5 straight pitches away, and Freese delivers. You're right, Joe. That routine double play that was not turned. The difference so far in a Cardinal run, at least one, years that every team should have a left-handed and a right-handed hitting instructor, because I think left-handed hitters are different enough that they need someone who understands their swing. And this has nothing to do with Mark McGwire.
Freese has got another hit. His 2nd of the night to go with a walk. He's on for the 3rd time.
I think left-handed swings in baseball are so much more different than right-handed swings that it should require a right-hander to understand a right-handed swing and a left-hander with a left-handed swing.
Here's Descalso coming in to run. That said by a former left-handed hitting big league.
Well, for instance, as an example, nobody can drive the ball. No left-handed hitter, or few left-handed hitters, can drive the ball to left center like a right-handed hitter can drive the ball to right center. A guy like Albert Pujols. We talked about 8 guys on the Rangers and the Cardinals who had power the other way. We're talking about left-handed hitters.
Let Alan Craig get into the flow of the game and play the outfield, as he's done in every game here in Texas. 2-1 on David Freese. 4 home runs this postseason. That's a base hit into left, and David Freese is on with 1 out here in the 6th. It'll bring in Yadier Molina.
You may remember when Yadier Molina drove in the first run and went to first base and went about halfway There is no reason for a hitter who gets a single to left field to not take a wide turn at first base. The reason? No left fielder on a base hit to left field has thrown out a runner rounding first, throwing behind him in 5 years. 5 years. That's a good strike away.
Has tied it 7-7. Unbelievable.
Even in their no doubles defense, allows Freese to hit a double. We said great power the other way, hit too hard, driving in 2 to tie, winning it in both the 9th and 10th innings. 2 strikes on Freese, 2 strikes on Berkman.
Hits it in the air to center. We will see you tomorrow night.
How did this happen?
That's what the Rangers have to be saying to themselves and the Cardinals. Crashing this postseason party. And they have pushed this 2011 postseason to the final day. And it has been some kind of ride. Number 5 this postseason for the hometowner.
We talked about his power to right and his power to center, and he powers the Cardinals to a win.
get to a better state. Here's that big ninth inning, 2-out, 2-strike, 2-run triple, and the game winner. All of that following that error. That bounces in a full count, and that means that the runners will go. Texas bullpen. Runners go on a shot into left center field. This is going to tie it. David Freese won a roll. 2-2 in the first.
David Freese on a changeup inside. His last 3 at-bats. A triple to tie, a home run to win, a double to tie.
Now it's Molina. C.J. Wilson is getting loose.
Talked about, excuse me, Joe, we talked about it in last night's game. If hitters walk, they score.
And it was back-to-back walks with 2 out. And then running the count full, which helped start the runners in 2. In the Texas bullpen. Runners go on a shot into left center field. This is going to tie it. David Freese won a roll. 2-2 in the first.
David Freese on a changeup inside. His last 3 at-bats. A triple to tie, a home run to win, a double to tie.
Chopper to the left side, through for a base hit for Freese. And the first hit of the game for the Cardinals. And it comes here in the 4th inning. Leadoff base hit by Freese. And Daniel Descalso will come to the plate.
On a fastball at 90 down in the zone, Freese just kind of smothers that ball to the left side, but finds the hole between Zimmerman and Desmond into left field for the first Cardinal base hit of the game.
Here is Descalso, and the bottom 3 hitters in the Cardinal lineup all walked in that disastrous second inning. Not quite that bad, but the control problems giving the Cardinals the lead they have now. Who struck out 10 batters today and giving up only 1 run. Pitched his heart out, and the Cardinals clinging to the 2-1 lead. Check swing down low, and it's 2-1 to Freese. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. And a chilly day in St. Louis. Temperatures in the 40s when we came to the ballpark, Bob. Thought we need parkas, but it warmed up to 52, and we're comfortable. There's a looper into left field, and it's going to drop in front of Michael Morse for a base hit. 1 out, single by David Freese, who has both Cardinal hits today.
I always felt these conditions favored the pitcher, Dick, because they're moving constantly. Obviously, their body temperature is going to be okay out there on the mound. The catcher as well, moving on every pitch. But if you happen to be a defender that's standing out there not moving for innings at a time, and you come up to the plate, your hands are cold, your body's a little bit stiffer than it was when the ball game started. I always felt that the cooler the temperature, the more the advantage shifted to the pitcher.
And you talked about the shadows, the cool weather. Nothing. 26-year-old Jordan Zimmerman from Wisconsin, and there's the strike, 3-1. Zimmerman from Auburndale, Wisconsin, population 750. So you'd think everyone knows everyone else.
I would think so. 749 since he's here now.
Unless someone moved in today. Yeah. Here's the 3-1 pitch in the air. It's going to score a run at least. This ball is going to be off the wall. Jason Worth off the base of the wall. Scoring is Craig. And Molina will go to third base on the double by David Freese. Molina had to hold up a little bit just in case Worth had a chance to catch that ball. But the Cardinals finally get a hit with the runners in scoring position. Score a run to tie it up.
Obviously the hard hit grounder to third to start the inning, but notice where the last two base hits have gone, to the opposite field. That's when the Cardinals offense is at their best, driving the ball to the opposite.
To a day game, you hear, hey, hot dogs, peanuts, and you can hear the vendors. You can hear them here at Nationals Park. Not a lot of rock music going on.
This one is ripped to left. It'll drop for at least a single. Let's see if Freese wants to try for two. He's on his way for a double and in there standing.
Let's check out the location again. Suzuki wants it outside. No, just like Craig. And Davey Johnson had mentioned that. He has got to keep the ball down and away and mix up his pitches, control of his off-speed pitches early in the count. You leave that ball middle in to these Cardinal right-hand hitters. Most of the time they'll make you pay for it like Freese did there.
Well, this is the whole deal with Jackson. It isn't just walks, and this year actually his walk rate, about 3 per 9 innings, was the best of his career. But it's how
patients teach catchers to make the swipe tag, stand out in front of the plate, or like you said, give them half of the plate and not have the Ray Fosse, Pete Rose collisions back in the All-Star game in, was it 70, 71, somewhere in there.
70.
Yeah, 70. But to try to eliminate those because of the concussion factor.
And also the investments in some of these players. Right center field, Worth going back. The ball really carrying out by the wall. He leaps and can't get it. Harper plays the carom. And it's a double for Freese.
I tell you, the Nationals in the baseball world got a little glimpse. The baseball world got a little glimpse last year of David Freese' power to the opposite field. There again, that's been the mistake of the day for the Nationals pitcher. Ball coming back in from the outside corner. Worth gives it a nice effort, but can't quite get high enough to get leather on it. And I don't think the Cardinals have missed a mistake pitch yet. By a mistake pitch, I mean when you're trying to throw the ball low and away and you leave it in the middle of the plate.
Obviously, this would have been a terrific catch. Worth made a more difficult one in robbing Descalso of a home run in game 1.
Cardinals have done well against left-handed starters this year. They have the top batting average against southpaws, and their 31-17 record is third in the big leagues. 3-1 pitch, and there's the first base hit of the game. A line drive single to center field, so Freese is on with a 2-out base hit. Play TBS Social Dugout, presented by Samsung Galaxy S3. Predict the plays before they happen. In there. Base hit to left field for David Freese, a 1-out single. So Freese now with his 7th hit of the series leads the team. 1 out, 1 on to Descalso.
You know, the book on David Freese is just to try to stay away, and this time he reaches out across the plate and pulls that ball back through the hole on the left side of the infield. Yeah, sometimes against a good hitter, especially a guy with the kind of power that David Freese possesses, limit the damage. A single through the left side of the infield with 1 out is not the worst thing that could happen.
Well, last year's Mr. October on at first base, and here is Descalso hitting .214, but he has a base hit to left field for David Freese, a 1-out single. So Freese now with his 7th hit of the series leads the team. 1 out, 1 on to Descalso.
You know, the book on David Freese is just to try to stay away, and this time he reaches out across the plate and pulls that ball back through the hole on the left side of the infield.
And there's a ball through Ian Desmond into left field. Not sure if he could have made the play, but he certainly could have knocked it down and maybe made a play in any event. Here's the ball hit to shortstop.
Right off the end of the bat of David Freese. Desmond, normally a very sure-handed shortstop, made only 15 errors all season. Just didn't get his glove in a good position that time. The ball skips through into left field, giving that Cardinal bench a little life.
So Desmond, who has committed an error in this
ball, and Buster Posey. That's excluding Madison Bumgarner, who won that big game in Game 4 against Texas.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 on, 1 out. Freese hits it into the gap in left center field. This ball is gone. 2-run home run, David Freese. His 6th during postseason play, and last year's NLCS hero has put St. Louis on top 2-zip. Good at bat by the Cardinal third baseman.
Fouling off 3 pitches, gets the count to 3-2, and was looking away, got it away, and lasers it out to left center.
And so Freese now has 8 RBIs this postseason, and the Cardinals jump on top. Descalso, who's from this area and was as much a hero in the division series as anybody, maybe the biggest one for the Cardinals as it turned out, bats with nobody on, 1 down, and he just keeps hitting. He's on with 1 out. Descalso, who hit just .227 during the regular season, is red hot.
Now that was a hanger. This is the home run in Washington. Or I beg your pardon, that was David Freese's home run. Daniel Descalso will never forget that home run in Washington. The reaction by the Cardinals, obviously.
Freese hits it into the gap in left center field. This ball is gone. 2-run home run, David Freese. His 6th during postseason play, and last year's NLCS hero has put St. Louis on top 2-zip. Good at bat by the Cardinal third baseman.
Fouling off 3 pitches, gets the count to 3-2, and was looking away, got it away, and lasers it out to left center.
And so Freese now has 8 RBIs this postseason, and the Cardinals jump on top.
Oh, no scouting reports, Joe. No scouting reports. No, it's a tough team, tough lineup.
What a bold question that was, huh, Adam?
Here's a base hit into center off the bat of David Freese.
David did that to try
to make you
keep me on the air. That's a good man right there. Good
under pressure.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for this team and the Giants. And
don't go into cliche. You know what? Just save it.
You know, it's some.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball is hit into the corner. That will be extra base hit number 3 of Game 3. A one-out double by David Freese.
Yeah, that was just a rolling breaking ball. Hanging on the inside part of the plate for David Freese.
Ever.
Tony La Russa has a book out. I think it's called One Strike Away. And it's about that Game 6 and about that season last year. Tony retired after Game 7 of the World Series.
Base hit left field. Freese has his 4th hit of this series. Holiday at second. 2 out in the inning.
First ball hitting again. It's easier to hit against a pitcher who is struggling with his control, because when you do get a fastball, it's in the middle of the plate, and that one was.
So Descalso now running back to last year. Freese 1 for 4 last night. Had 2 hits in Game 3, and he lines one into right. That ball falling in a hurry, and down, gets away from Pence. Molina will stop at third on a double by David Freese.
I don't think Pence got a good jump on that ball, but even had he gotten one, I don't think he makes the play. Off the end of the bat, tailing toward the line, and Hunter a valiant try, but couldn't get to it. Recovers in time to hold Molina to third.
So second and third with nobody out, and David Freese.
And then the avalanche. Daniel Descalso is on deck, would be the 9th batter here in the 3rd. And a ground ball, base hit past Morneau into right field. 2 runs will score, and the Cardinals now lead it 6-0. And here comes another run coming in. Here comes the throw at the plate, not in time. John Jay saw the ball get loose around first base. Sloppy relay by the Pirates, and he took advantage of it, and it's now 7-0.
Boy, real nice situational hitting by David Freese. Shoots that ball right down the first base line past a diving Justin Morneau. Yeah, Molina comes around to score easily. And then as the throw came back into the infield, as you mentioned, John Jay very alertly saw the ball hit David.
He's a star at Lafayette High School in Schoolwood. And a terrific person. Shot up the middle, and it's a base hit to center field for Freese. Second hit of the game for Freese, and John Jay stops at second. So the Cardinals, not content with a 7-run lead midway through this game, have 2 on and nobody out here in the 5th with Descalso coming up.
Well, we showed this series, the Pirates, at least statistically, if you look at the numbers, were all about pitching, especially that strong bullpen. Somebody will hit one in the seats every now and again. Pedro Alvarez or Marlon Byrd or Andrew McCutchen, but it was all about how they pitched. But in this series, they've actually hit better with runners in scoring position than the Cards.
Curveball hit deep to left field. Marte going back, looking up, and it's gone. Freese, and it's 2-0 in the second.
Moore left a breaking ball hanging over the inside part of the plate. Russell Martin wanted it low and away. It ended up middle in, just over the fence out there. And
here in this ballpark when the Dodgers came in with that 15-game road winning streak. Well hit over third, base hit and into the corner. Crawford chases it down, and it's a leadoff double here in the fifth for David Freese.
Yeah, not a fastball right here. An overhand hook. David stays on it, sees it well, and lines it down to the left field corner.
Really the first curveball with a good swing on it by Freese. I wonder if the shadows are becoming less of a factor.
You saw Crawford position himself to play that carom, and it really... Freese grounded to Uribe his first time. Looper into right. Puig on the run. Dives but cannot make the play. Freese is at first with a leadoff single. And without further ado, moments ago we spoke with Dodgers manager Don Mattingly. Well, Don, I know that 22 innings felt like a long, long time. Good to get on the board. And
a lot of those pitches per inning here in this inning are due to great at bat by Matt Carpenter.
right back up the middle. Runners at first and second. Another ball sharply hit off Kershaw. Four hits in the inning.
Again, another breaking ball that just stays up in the strike zone. Good job by Freese going back through the box like Molina did. Between the legs of Kershaw.
The strike, Kershaw gave up one earned run in his first postseason start this year against Atlanta. 2 unearned runs in Game 4 of the NLDS. 1 unearned run in Game 2 of this series. Tonight the Cardinals have gotten to him. On the ground, in the hole, into left, base hit. Akindo is going to hold up Molina right there. They're at the corners with nobody out.
This was a changeup right here, and I think Freese was trying to drive the ball to the right side, and the changeup happened to be right on time to pull into the hole between short and third for a base hit.
Just usually don't see so many balls centered against Kershaw, and they've done it tonight.
Veteran right-hander, the rookie right-hander. Here is a 2-2. Into right, base hit. Victorino safe as Freese just beat the throw.
By sliding feet first. Victorino plays a shallow right field, and with David Freese, before the series is over, he could be burned playing too shallow because Freese has great power the other way. Just safe as Freese. Better shot.
In this World Series as awful, just awful. He is 1 for 12.
Stranding 13 runners.
He grounds one up the middle to start the inning. A leadoff base hit. We talked to the manager for the Red Sox, John Farrell, during the break. The first question was about the light inside corner, strike 2. One out, bases empty. The 1-2 pitch. Hard hit, fair. Past the first baseman and down the right field line. Freese will try to make it a double, and he does. With 1 out. Just fair. In between the line and David Ortiz.
That was a good pitch from Lester, too. He tried that cutter just over the bag. It may have even landed foul, but that doesn't matter. If it goes over the bag, lands foul, it's a fair ball. Now with the potential tying run at the plate, we'll see what John Farrell's going to do with a loose, warm Koji Uehara in the bullpen.
Well, Pete Kozma is up here. Kozma, who has just 1.
And that's why they're here tonight in Game 1 of the American League Division Series. For more records and milestones, by the way, go to BleacherReport.com. David Freese leads it off. Well, the Angels have made the most of their 1 hit in this game. It was a Chris Iannetta solo home run in the 3rd. You see Mike Trout lost that ball in the lights in the top half of this inning, resulting in a double for Alex Gordon, who came around to score. And David Freese launches to left, and we are once again tied. Another long ball answer by the Angels.
Further cementing his legacy in the postseason.
Looked like he tried to make that fastball on the inside corner. David was sitting all over
it. .260 hitter in the regular season, only 10 home runs. Loves playing in October.
He started to get his power swing, his home run swing in the second half. Swung the bat much better down the stretch.